What's good, my peoples? My peoples, my peoples. How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? Today we gonna do fettuccine, fettuccine Alfredo with lobster tail. I got a couple of lobster tails. Cut them up, or whatever the case. And I got some jumbo shrimps or prawns, if you want to say prawns. I peeled them. They had the heads on them, everything like that. Got some cream. I want with light cream. You could use heavy cream if you want. My boy Rod told me to, Babe Pop said, stop doing arms so much. So yeah, but I got light cream. I got light cream instead of heavy cream. I got a little white wine. I went with the grated Parmesan cheese instead of the I went with the grated. This is the grated right here. You can see the difference is like that, right? As opposed to this one is the shredded. Cause I think when you do the shredded, you gotta really have the whisk and go a little bit harder to make sure it's a smoother consistency on your sauce, which is still fine. It's still fine. It's still gonna have the taste, but it's just gonna be it's not gonna be as smooth. You're gonna still see the strings in it in your sauce, and it's gonna be a little more lumpier. All right. So yeah. So today we got shrimp and lobster tail Alfredo with the feta. Here go one more thing. And we calling it fettuccine, right? Now, we calling it Alfredo fettuccine because we using fettuccine noodles. Now, if you could throw whatever kind of noodles you want in it though. You could use macaroni, elbow noodles. You could use tone rigatoni. You could use spiral. You could use whatever. You could use spaghetti. Whatever you want. But it's not going to be Alfredo fettuccine. It's going to be Alfredo elbow, Alfredo macaroni, Alfredo penne, or whatever the case may be. The name going to determine on which type of noodle you use. I'm using fettuccine because I like them. You can see they kind of like the thin flat, so you can get your twirl on with your fork. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. Now we got our fettuccine noodles going, and as you can see, now some people want to put salt in them. Some people want to put oil in them. That's totally your choice. With the oil, I don't like to put oil in them because if you coat the pasta in the oil, then when you're making your sauce, whether it's a red sauce, a white sauce, or whatever sauce you're doing, the sauce is not, the noodle is not going to absorb the sauce because you got the oil on it, kind of coating it. I don't like to add salt because, a lot of my peoples, we got high blood pressure. We be doing hospital stays where they got to get your blood pressure down and all that type of stuff. Shout out to my man Pape. Word up. So, so I try to keep the salt out until the end and let the person add salt theyself. You can add a little bit of salt if you want, just to give it a little boom. But I try to not go with too much salt because nowadays people high blood pressure, you got to be careful. Now with the pasta, you always going for al dente or to the tooth, which means it have a little crunch in it. You don't want to go with overcooked where the pasta is mushy or whatever like that. Now when you doing the Alfredo sauce, because the shrimp and the lobster don't take that long to cook, you could kind of wait until your pasta is done, and then you could do your straining and all of that type of stuff, and then start with your sauce, because the reduction of the heavy cream or the light cream in my case, The reduction of the heavy cream and adding the cheese and the shrimp, that's going to take like maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes tops. You know, when you start seeing your shrimp and you cooking them, I'll show you later. But when you start cooking your shrimp and you seeing them and they start getting all tight and round up and tight, now you overcooking it. You're going to turn them things into the bottom of a Puma sneaker. They going to be like rubber. You know what I mean? So you want to go with a nice, nice where they start to turn from that clear color to that white color. And once it turns into that white color and you start to see them closing up, you want to pull them out where it still have a little flavor to it, not overcooked. That's not what you're going trying to do with none of your food is overcook it. So now, I'm going to use a little white wine tonight to thin out my sauce or just to add a little more flavor to it. And you don't need to get an expensive wine. This one might be $7, $8 at the store. They got $4 bottles of wine. But you don't want to get that cooking wine crap. That cooking wine is crap. All that is some colored water with some salt in it. So you don't need that. So if you're going to cook, whether it's white or red or whatever the case may be, get you a little cheap bottle of wine. And if you don't drink wine like that, which you can see, I do drink wine like that. But if you don't drink wine like that, you can put it in the fridge and you can use it for different sauces. If you're making a gravy or you making a soup or whatever the case may be, instead of adding water, you can add a little wine to it and you'll see the difference. It's going to give it a little more flavor. This one is actually a Chardonnay, and this would, what's that say? It say apples and pears. So it's got a nice little light flavor, but a little sweet, not too sweet. You know what I mean? Play around with it. Go to the store, look at different wines, cheap wines. Start at the bottom shelf. You know what I mean? Start at the bottom shelf with the cheaper wines and move your way up. You know what I mean? Start at one end and go across. Oh, I tried this. I tried the Chardonnay. I'm going to try Pinot Grigio this time. I'm going to try the Merlot. I'm going to try, or like some people I know say Merlot. So, yeah. So, try different things. You know what I mean? Because your taste buds, as you get older, as you go through life, even if you're younger, you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You want to try new things. Try new things that your taste buds. Let your taste buds try some new different things. You know what I mean? After a while, how much can you have that Hennessy or that Ciroc? Or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Try some different things. Go for a light buzz. Don't try to get drunk. Be the lush falling down the stairs. So I got my pasta out. Like I said, I go for, a cooked but not overcooked where it's all mushy and stuff like that. So now we getting ready to do our shrimp. I got some butter. Some unsalted butter. I try to really avoid salt. Don't mind me. I mean, if you like stuff salty, you do what you feel is real. If you like if you like that salt, go for it. But I went with unsalted butter this time. I got a little olive oil. Boom. We going to start with the shrimp because the shrimp is jumbo. The jumbo shrimp right here. So we're going to start with the jumbo shrimp because they're going to probably take longer to cook than the sliced lobster tail. So we got the shrimp in there now. And you can see they start off, like I was telling you, they start off with that kind of clear kind of color, the uncooked color. And so as they get, as they cook, you'll see they're going to turn that pink color. But, and these the jumbo shrimp. So I'm going to say maybe 6 minutes tops, maybe 7. You don't want to overcook it because the more you cook it, the tighter they get. And after a while, they just taste like, man, they taste like eating cardboard boxes, man. So yeah. So yeah, so we gonna finish this up, then we gonna add the shrimp once they get close to done. Yeah, I turned the light off. I was like, they can't see the color with that. I turned that little light off over the stove, Sean. But yeah, so you can see I done added the lobster tail right there, and we got the shrimp. See how they start, the color done changed, and they starting to curl up a little bit. You know what I mean? So we getting close to done. And you don't want to overcook them. Like I said, you don't want to overcook them too much. See how this one's starting to curl up? That's when you know you getting close to done. And when they get tight, you don't went too far, bro. So yeah, and then we gonna use the wine kind of to deglaze the pan and keep that kind of flavor in there. Then we gonna add the cream and all that in the cheese. You gonna see how it come together. So now as you can see, the shrimp and the lobster tail, nice, not too, too overcooked or whatever the case may be. My pan is going, and now you're going to hit it with the wine and deglaze it. Now deglazing sound like a real technical term or whatever, but basically all it is you're going to use a liquid to get the, the flavor, the little food particles off the bottom of the pan, so you're not wasting your flavor. You could deglaze a pan with chicken stock, chicken broth, whatever the case may be. Just to, like I said, when you cook with layers. Cook with layers of flavors and textures and like that. And so when you deglaze the pan, them little food particles, that's gonna add a little something extra to your sauce than just starting out with you could have took this pan and cleaned it out, washed it out and everything, and then started fresh again with a little olive oil, or just went in straight with your heavy cream. But now you missing out on some of the, them little flavors, you missing out on stuff right there. You gotta get that. You want that. You know what I mean? Plus, that sets you apart from a head that just, you know what I mean? That adds a little bit, well, his tasted a little different than yours last time. I don't know what it is. I did the same thing. Oh, no. Yeah, because, you skipped a step. Now, I added the cream to it. And you can see already, I didn't even add any of the cheese yet. But you can see it already have a look of it got something extra in there, than just the cream. You can see the little bits of the flavor from the wine. I didn't cook the wine down too much or reduce the wine too much, as they like to say. So that way it had a little bit of, it wouldn't be too thick. Because once you add the pasta to it, and the pasta get hot in the sauce, it's going to absorb some of your liquid. So you don't want your sauce to be too thick, because then your pasta and everything is going to be too thick. You know what I mean? At the last, we're going to add the cheese next, then the pasta, then the shrimp and the lobster. I did some asparagus, did some asparagus or whatever right here. I blanched them, and then I shocked them. Then I blanched them. So I don't know if I'm gonna add that to it. You can, if you don't like asparagus, you could do string beans. You could do some fresh green leaf spinach out the bag that's already pre-washed. You could throw that in there to give it a little, nice little color, something like that, or a little hint of some veggies in there, try to be a little healthy. This ain't a healthy dish though. I'm serious. This is not a healthy dish. I mean, I tried to with the light cream. I guess you can make it a little healthier depending on how much cream you add, how much cheese you add, but this is one of them heavy dishes. So yeah, so this is, but you gotta splurge, man. Sometimes you gotta take care of yourself. If you don't eat good, If you don't take care of yourself and eat good, shoot, you can't expect nobody else to feed you and take care of you and treat you good. Shoot, you don't do it for yourself. See how the sauce is getting thicker now, so now I'm ready for my cheese. Now with my Parmesan, you can see the sauce is getting right now. With this one right here, I think I added maybe half of this container, and I had a pint of the cream, and you can see it's already thick. See the thickness of it? You know what I mean? So that's why I was saying you don't really need to reduce stuff down too much, because once you add that cheese to it and then the pasta, it's going to thicken up pretty quick. All right, now we getting ready to add the pasta. Boom. Now with this, with the Alfredo sauce, you could do shrimp, you could do fish, you could do just straight lobster tail, you could do little Rod killing me. Rod like, man, I'm gonna punch you in the face. You say one more time. But you could do. I told him that's my thinking pause. That's my what I'm gonna say next pause. But yeah, so you can add chicken to it, whatever you feel good with. Salmon. I seen all kinds of Alfredo, so it depends on your taste buds. And like I said, you the chef, your kitchen. When you working it out, so boom, make it happen. Whatever you feel like you want to try, you know what I mean? And somebody come over to your crib, there you go, the shrimp and the lobster tail, and boom, you about good right there. I'm gonna give it a little mix. I don't think I'm gonna add the asparagus. I wanted to, but I don't think I'm gonna add the asparagus. But I'm gonna give it a little mix, and then we gonna plate up. So there you go. You got your shrimp and lobster Alfredo. You know, we're gonna plate it up, see how I look, and give it a go. And there you have it. You got your shrimp, your jumbo shrimp right there. You know, lobster tail. I saute some asparagus just to throw a little color in there, whatever. When you plating up, you gotta look at your plate like a paint canvas. So this will be your frame around the outside. That's gonna be your frame right there. And the center of your plate is where you want to try to always keep your food. Plus that way you could cut down on greedy people going bananas. Keep the food keep the food in the middle of the plate, make it look nice. Give them a nice size portion or whatever the case may be. Because I got the white wine, you always want to go white or something lighter with something like this. Because if you go with a red wine or something heavier, it might overpower the mildness of a dish like this. Because it's not a spicy dish, it's not a heavy dish or anything like that. So you want to always keep it mild, and it always is good to use whatever you plan on drinking in your dish, so that way it'll complement each other. Again, Big Sherm, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out my videos. My people's in Brooklyn, North Carolina. I got people in Atlanta. I appreciate everybody that watch. Take the time, because I know it's a lot of things out there on the internet. You could waste your time or you could spend your time rather watching. I appreciate it. Thanks. And I'll see y'all again next time. All right, one love.